With that, go ahead, Deb.
France's foreign minister is raising the prospect of international intervention. Turkey's foreign minister has said, several red lines have been crossed. We've got McCain saying that without U.S. response, that instead of a red line, that Assad is looking really at a green light here, because we've seen him use chemical weapons in the past. So are we at least reaching a tipping point with Syria here?
Well, let me be crystal clear here. People around the world, including many of the people you mentioned, but also people living in countries around the world, have woken up this morning, have seen yesterday, photos, videos that many of us have seen that shock the consciousness and anyone would see as beyond the pale. The President has directed the intel community here in the United States to urgently gather additional information. That is our focus on this end. At this time, right now, we are unable to conclusively determine CW use, but we are focused every minute of every day since these events happened yesterday on doing everything possible within our power to nail down the facts. Also, as part of these efforts, the Secretary, and I mentioned a number of his calls, but part of that is working with, coordinating with, cooperating with his counterparts around the world and having those discussions. He did speak with Foreign Minister Fabius this morning. He's spoken with a number of officials, and those calls will continue. But we are doing everything possible to use our resources, which includes coordinating and cooperating with our counterparts around the world, to get to the bottom of the facts on the ground.
So if they determine that, beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was the regime that was using the chemical weapons, is this then another red line that's been crossed?
Well, the red line has been clear. I know there's been some confusion about this. The red line is the use of CW, the use of chemical weapons. That was crossed a couple of months ago. The President took action, which we talked about at the time. Well, as I mentioned, we're still focused on nailing down the facts. The intel community is focused on that. The administration is focused on that. If these reports are true, it would be an outrageous and flagrant escalation of use of chemical weapons by the regime. So our focus is on nailing down the facts. The President, of course, has a range of options that we've talked about before that he can certainly consider and, of course, discuss with his national security team.
And in these calls, are those ideas being discussed? Those options?
Of course, there are many different views and different ideas around the world, as there long have been. But the Secretary is more interested in hearing what their understanding is, what information they have available, and of course what appropriate steps are certainly a part of the discussion with his counterparts, but also with in the meetings with the national security team.
But the U.S. didn't take any action the first time when they decided that...
We did take action. We're not going to outline the inventory of